Awesome. There you are. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Appreciate the time.
Oh, thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. So we talked back in November.
Yeah.
Distance had just come out, and we were talking a lot about what the song meant to you, and it meant a lot to me. It definitely helped me out. Before I get into the success of the song, I know you guys, the family, going through holidays, the first without dad. How's everybody holding up?
About as good as you can. It's not an easy thing to go through, but time keeps moving.
Yeah. So distance. So November, it was just starting to be played. February, #1 rock song. Congratulations.
Thank you. Pretty crazy.
I mean, I know to have a #1 song right out the gate, but obviously you were writing about your dad. Maybe a little bit more special that people took to it and just gravitated to the song.
Yeah, certainly. I didn't expect it at all. It was pretty crazy for a song that I wasn't even planning on releasing at all. At least within the first album's context, to blow up like that. I didn't see that coming at all.
So we got Don't Back Down now, doing well on radio. You've been teasing, throwing some other songs out there. I got to imagine, because you've had this record done for a long time. June 11th can't come quick enough to get it out.
Yeah, man, it's really exciting to have. I think we got 5 or 6 songs out right now. It's really crazy to hear everybody's thoughts on them, and just the fact that they're out. It's weird. Like, it's exciting, but also I can't explain it. It's something like I've never been 100% behind something like this, where I wrote everything. So it's like every time I release something, it feels like a part of me is leaving. It's weird, but it's exciting. It's crazy.
I got to imagine. So, I mean, you've had this record done for a while. So, and obviously the pandemic has slowed everything down and held everybody back from some people releasing records or going out on tour. Have you been doing more writing?
Certainly. Yeah, I'm ready to get back in the studio already, but it's time to tour now.
But I also see tour dates are popping up here and there. I'm sure excited. Also, some nerves, maybe.
Oh, big time. Yeah. But the fact that it's actually going to happen, and it's looking more real and more real by the day, it's very exciting. I can't wait to get back out there again. It's gonna be
so
crazy.
I know you did some performances of Distance on some TV, on some late night TV, I think morning show TV as well. And we talked about this back in November. You consider yourself a drummer first, obviously bass in Van Halen, but now you are, as far as on stage, the front man. You're playing guitar. What was the transition of doing that, even if it was just one performance? What was that like for you?
It's weird. I'm just kind of, I've got nobody to blame but myself. I'm just kind of throwing myself into the fire here, because I'm doing the 2 things that I'm least confident in at once in front of everybody at the very front. So if that's certainly one way to improve and get better. So I'm excited to see how I grow as an artist doing this completely different thing from what I'm used to.
So I was doing some more research, and I forgot all about your work with Mark Tremonti, playing with him. Now, there's a guy that was primarily a guitar player in Creed. I know he did share some vocals with Scott, but did he give you any tips? Are you still in contact with him for his transition to being a frontman?
Oh yeah, we're still very good friends, but in terms of tips on that, not really. Because I've been working in at least in the studio aspect for so long that uh, yeah. But no, Mark's a great guy. He's awesome.
What's been it could be Mark, maybe some bandmates in Van Halen. I'm sure Alex has talked to you. What's been the feedback on the music so far that you've been putting out with Mammoth WVH?
It's crazy. Everybody has been like ridiculously positive. It's amazing. I expected more bitterness. That always happens, but I find myself, like, when I used to scroll like in my mentions on Twitter and stuff, there was usually five five tweets out of 20 were always a really crappy thing, but now it's like it's few and far between. Either they're going away or people are just really starting to like it. It's crazy.
That's you mentioned social media and tweeting. You're very vocal on there. I've seen you've gotten into it a little bit with some you hope they're fans, but I guess everybody has an opinion. But do you read back at some of your reactions and go, maybe I shouldn't have typed that, or are you confident in what you put out there?
Rarely. All I really do is I just flip it back. Like I don't, it's never an unwarranted thing where I just jump on someone. It's like if somebody says something dumb, I'll call them out on it.
I like that. I definitely like that. I also saw an article, and I didn't ask you this before, but I mean, obviously, an influence on you, obviously Van Halen. I know you have a love for AC/DC, but saw some things coming out that you love Meshuggah, and I think Gojira was another one on there. Are you a closet metalhead with some of those bands?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I wouldn't say closet. I think all my friends know I'm into that. I guess I just don't talk about it too publicly, but yeah, no, I love that stuff.
What was some of the other bands that has influenced you as a musician and doing what you're doing now?
I mean, in terms of the project, certainly like Foo Fighters, the AC/DC, and I think I'll always just have that bit of Van Halen just because it's just in my blood. But Jimmy Eat World is a really big influence of mine. Things like Nine Inch Nails too. Like same with Foo Fighters and Nine Inch Nails are big just because I love how it started with kind of one guy and it built off of that. So, yeah.
Oh, you do have that in common with Mr. Grohl. The first Foo Fighters record, it was all him. I think he had like a producer there, but you kind of follow the footsteps of Mr. Grohl. Though that man doesn't stop working, so you got to get into like TV and books and all that stuff to follow him. So, any other outside of music? Do you have any other interests that you would like to get involved in?
I mean, I play a lot of video games, but I don't know how to get involved in that. I don't. It'd be fun to do music for one, maybe. I don't know. But.
Yeah. So, we're mentioning tour dates are out there. I only saw a few, but are you planning on trying to do a full tour? And how's it going with the guys you have playing with?
Yeah, everything's so up in the air right now. I think we're just kind of waiting at the starting line to hear like, okay, when can we really get out there? And I know dates are starting to get out there for these radio festivals, which is really exciting. But I'm sure pretty soon, we'll when it's safe, we'll be out there.
So we mentioned you're involved in everything as obviously like making the music, you're playing every instrument, singing, all that stuff. Are you involved in the business end of it as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's like running a business too, but I have a great, a management team, but it's not like I'm blind to it. Like I'm a part of it.
All right. Well, I'm a part of it as well because I already pre-ordered the vinyl. So I'm looking forward to that coming on June 11th. But I'm a bit of a vinyl junkie, so.
Oh, me too. I'm so excited to be able to make a vinyl. It's crazy.
I ask you this. I mean, obviously, growing up in just around music, when did you start to maybe playing vinyl, or I guess it was more in the '90s where you CDs and cassettes and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was more cassettes and CDs. Vinyls, it really wasn't. It wasn't in. Like it's been past what? I mean, you could say like 5 to 10 years. So I only started collecting, recently, but I'm obsessed with it.
Yeah, that's what I learned to play music on when I was a kid was vinyl. For some reason, I kept breaking my sister's Loverboy records. I'm not sure why, but I would put them back in the case and not tell her, and then she would scream at me later. Both of them were Loverboy records. No hate towards the band. I don't know why they're the ones I kept breaking.
That's hilarious.
So you said you want to get back into the studio. I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. The record's not even out yet. June 11th, again, Mammoth WVH. Going to go out on the road. Do you envision yourself maybe recording while you're out on the road, or is that just too much?
Probably not. I think when it comes to the road, that's when, like, if I get a good idea, I'll just record it on my phone and save it for when I get back.
I guess when you're recording this, I'm sure, you were playing it for your dad. I'm sure, you know, your uncle and other musicians you're friends with. But the older musicians, do they just look at you and shake your head? You can just record it into your phone when they used to have to like carry like recording devices around?
Yeah, you know, it's funny to like I remember showing my dad like how easy it was to just like record a quick idea rather
Hmm.
than having to use, you know, a tape recorder or like I remember my dad had like a huge like stack of recording stuff just in his bathroom. So if ever he just had a good idea, he just turn it on. So yeah.
That's awesome. With radio, like I used to have to put up this giant, like freezing cold pole in like the winter and make sure the antenna is pointed towards the building. And now these kids come in here and they can hit an app on the iPhone and we can broadcast from somewhere.
Exactly.
They don't know the struggle. They just don't. They don't know. But again, I want to say congratulations, Distance. Right out the gate, #1 rock song. That's tremendous. Not a lot of artists can say that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
I see "Don't Back Down" is creeping towards the top 10, and you never know. Back-to-back #1 singles. The record's coming out. You know, and then you get to go up on stage and perform these songs.
I'm very excited. It
Yeah.
looks
Are you? I'm assuming maybe are you rehearsing with the band right now, getting ready for these live shows?
we're gonna be getting ready to rehearse pretty soon. So we're again very excited. I can't wait.
I'm psyched too, man. I just live music in general, but I'm psyched to see you live. I've seen you with Van Halen, and you stepped into that role rather easily, and you know, to see you fronting the band, man, that's going to be tremendous to see you come on out there and play these songs live.
Thanks so much, man. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Well, Wolf, it's always a pleasure. Thank you for taking some time as always. You have a home here at WMGM in Atlantic City. Maybe we'll get you here in Atlantic City. We got a lot of venues here.
I would love to, man. That'd be awesome.
Awesome. Wolf, as always, a pleasure. June 11th, everybody get out there. Mammoth WVH will be available wherever you consume your music in whatever version of you get, CD, download, vinyl, grab it. I'm psyched with what I've heard, and I can't wait to hear the rest of it.
Thanks so much, man. It was a pleasure talking with you again.
Awesome. Take care.